So, welcome to an emergency episode of Not From Boston. Um, if you don't already know, the
You
Red
definitely do
Sox,
already know, but yeah.
the Red Sox have traded Rafael Devers for four players: Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, and two prospects. Um, the Red Sox won't retain any of Devers' salary, uh, and Hicks and Harrison both grade out as pretty mid-level pitchers.
Very
Um,
replacement level.
And this comes after the Red Sox swept the Yankees.
With a Devers home run as his final official at bat as a Red Sox.
Yeah, clawed our way, back from under 500. Uh, and so it felt like we had, it was felt like a good day. And then
It was
this news
not.
inexplicably broke this evening. Harry, what is your initial reaction?
Bennett, let me read you. Let me read you something here. Mookie Betts, center field. Andrew Benintendi, left field. Steve Pearce, first base. JD Martinez, right field. Xander Bogaerts, shortstop. Brock Holt, second base. Rafael Devers, third base. Christian Vasquez, catcher. Starting on the mound, David Price. Can you tell me what I just read to you?
Is that game one's starting lineup?
Game 5
Oh,
of the
game
World
five. Okay.
Series in 2018. Guess how many of those players still play for the Boston Red Sox?
Big fat zero.
A goose egg. Rafael Devers, the final remaining active player to play for the Red Sox from the 2018 World Series, 108 game winning World Series champion team. I am absolutely stunned. I'm sad. I mean, I actually was driving home on the freeway and damn near started crying. I mean, it was like this guy has been look, we've had our issues with him for sure with the whole position thing, but like he has been a constant in our lives as Red Sox fans since 2017. And he's produced some of the greatest moments of the modern Red Sox era. The home run off of Chapman, which the irony that now he's
Yeah.
gone and Chapman is a Red Sox, but the home run off of Chapman against the Yankees, the home run into the Crawford boxes against Justin Verlander, the inside the park home run in the 2017 playoffs. There's so many Rafael Devers moments that I can think of. There's so many times I thought, wow, we're so lucky that we have this guy. He's the heir apparent to David Ortiz.
Yeah.
I was mindlessly scrolling. I don't do Twitter anymore, but Threads, and I was sitting at the pool with a couple of my friends. We had a men's league game. We went to the pool afterward. I'm sitting, and I just refreshed the page because I was looking at Red Sox Twitterverse for like we beat the Yankees, and
Yeah, yeah,
all of a
yeah.
sudden it says 2 seconds. And I can't remember who first. It was the guy who first reported it. It was like I saw the tweet right when it got tweeted. Rafael Devers has been traded to the San Francisco Giants. And I was like, no fucking way. This is some bullshit, whatever. And then I refreshed, and then suddenly there's Jeff Passan. And I was like, wait a second. And then there's MLB on Fox, and I was like, oh fuck. So that's
Yeah.
when I called you. Um,
And I did not believe you.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned that is who we got in the trade. Like
Yeah.
we now have a 900 OPS, 30 plus home run sized hole in the middle of our lineup.
Yeah.
I'm shocked and I'm really angry. I'm really, really sad and I'm really angry. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We'll obviously get into the quotes, but the quote, I'll let you speak in a second too. I'm just like, I don't even know. This is really the first time we've talked about it. I am just getting home. My dog was having a dog moment, and then I jumped on here. But the quote that I keep receiving and seeing online is from the Boston Globe's quote, the team's feeling was that a $313.5 million contract comes with responsibilities to do what is right for the team and that Devers did not live up to those responsibilities. They had had enough and they traded him. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, what do you make of that? Like,
I think I really just think that this is the front office, Craig Breslow, uh, you know, were I think just like uh I think upset about the fact that Devers was not willing to just be a piece on a chessboard, you know, like he wasn't willing to just do whatever for whatever. Um, and felt that he had, having signed a 10-year, $300 million deal that he deserved, um, you know, some leeway, some of the, a benefit of the doubt, or I guess so to speak. Um, and I think the front office is just being pouty and vindictive. Uh, that their player wouldn't, bend the knee as it were, and then they were like, all right, well, fuck you, we'll trade you. Um, yeah, I think I have obviously a lot of thoughts. I've been kind of rapidly moving through the stages of grief. I think was in denial an hour ago. I'm like fully at anger. I think
Yeah.
the thing that's like so upsetting is that like I feel like we'd gotten to the point where we were like, yeah, this organization's learned their lesson from the Mookie Betts trade,
No.
and then they did this, and I've been seeing a lot of Red Sox fans online like just say they're like, I'm done with this team. I'm done. I can't watch this club anymore. This organization sucks. And I am like, damn, I don't even know how I can like be like I love the team, but like this organization just pisses me
Yeah,
off.
no, they're not wrong. I was gonna say I agree in a way. I'm not gonna not watch the games, but like,
Yeah.
bro, do you know? And also, do you know how they did it? Do you know what happened?
I know that Devers did not request a trade. I know that
No,
like because that was my first thought was that Devers asked
he
for the
must have.
trade.
So I'm not. I read this online, and I'll corroborate this, and we can share it on Substack or whatever if it ends up being incorrect. But what I read from a few different sources was that he was on the tarmac to get on the flight for the team flight to the West Coast for their road trip, and they came in and pulled him, and they were like, "Hey, we need to talk to you. You just got traded." Imagine
That's
being on the fucking flight. Like if you're like Roman Anthony or something,
mhm.
and you probably, I mean, look, again, we don't know what's going on because clearly there were quotes from multiple players that were like, he needs to stop talking and blah. Like people were clearly not vibing with him at one point this
Yeah.
season, but there's no way in hell that Meyer and Anthony, specifically the two lefty new guys, are not looking up to Devers as like, damn, how is he doing what he's doing?
Yeah.
Imagine just being on the flight and he's gone. That's it. He's gone. You don't even get to say goodbye. He's gone.
I mean, there's so much about this that was handled incorrectly by the Boston Red Sox.
It's awful.
Um, for one thing, I also just want to say, like, I think if David Ortiz was playing for the Red Sox now, the Red Sox would have traded him.
Yeah, probably.
I think if this, if this attitude existed in 2004, we would have traded him, we would have traded Manny, we would have traded or Manny earlier. But like we never would have sustained a winning roster because we'd be trading everybody. Um, I think with Devers, it just regardless of whether there was, I think, a disconnect between him and players, whether there's any kind of friction or disagreement in the clubhouse or between Devers and Cora or between Devers and the front office. All of it stems from one thing, which is that the front office failed to communicate to Devers in the offseason about Bregman. They
Yes.
failed to communicate about the fact that he was not going to be their third baseman going forward. And they let that turn into a whole fucking drama in spring training, and they let it escalate when Tristan Casas got hurt. And so like this almost feels like a natural conclusion to that saga, but it all comes from the fact that the Boston Red Sox front office is not capable of communicating transparently to their players, let alone to like the public, which I think kind of leads to the next point. I mean, I feel like the head of Boston's PR team has to be like smashing his head into his desk, just being like, I need to wake up from this nightmare because
I'd be
from a
quitting,
just
bro.
a
I'm out of there. Fuck
from
that.
a
I'm like, yo, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice now.
from like a public from a public relations
It's a
standpoint, like
disaster.
communicating as an organization to your fans, like the worst possible time to trade your star player, and there isn't really a good time, but the worst possible time to trade your star player is after you sweep your rivals and claw back into a winning position. Like this was not, even if the trade was like, you know, even if they're adamant that the trade be made and all the pieces were in place, I think someone should have still been like, hey, for the fact that like we need the narrative of like sweeping the Yankees. Let's wait a week. Let's do the road trip and then do it afterwards. Because now we also have to play Devers on Friday because we play the
Bro,
Giants.
he's gonna go like 4 for 4.
I so so there's that. There is the fact that yeah, like this makes our team so much worse by taking this bat out
Dude,
of the
the
lineup.
hole in the lineup. I mean, it's only a couple games. Like Anthony's not hitting right now.
Right.
Myers had a couple good games, but not really hitting. Like there's
Yeah.
not a lefty thump that's gonna. And it's amazing to me. Sorry, finish what you're gonna say, and then I'm gonna explode. I'm all
What I was gonna say is that I the I think the Mookie Betts trade did a lot of damage in terms
Yes.
of our ability to court talent. And I think the beginning of this year, you were kind of seeing that kind of go away with our ability to acquire Crochet and extend him, our ability to sign Bregman. Do you think Bregman is going to opt into his deal now that he watched Devers get traded? Do you think Roman Anthony or Marcelo Meyer are gonna jump at the opportunity to sign an extension with the Boston Red Sox? Do you think any free agent this offseason is gonna tell their agent, hey, let me know if the Red Sox call? I'd be very interested. No, no fucking way.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say when I started getting angry. Is like this does more damage psychologically to the players, particularly the players in the organization, because I'm thinking about Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer, who have not been extended yet. I'm thinking they have no job security. They're
Yeah,
like, yo, I better do whatever the fuck they want or my ass is out of here. And what if it makes, look at the Christian Campbell situation too. Like they're
seriously.
fucking flinging him all over the diamond and he's not playing well anymore. So like,
Yeah.
what is going on, dude? I mean, Breslow gotta go, bro.
No,
Like
this
you
is
gotta
entirely
go.
the front office. The
You
front
gotta
office.
go.
There are a lot of guys who have been there across, not just Breslow, but have been there for Heim and been there for Dombrowski. And so, like, I don't know necessarily that those guys need to go because they've been good at their jobs before, and you kind of do have to follow the lead of the head of the organization. But Craig Breslow, I'm so sorry. Like,
You
he's
gotta
gotta
go.
go now.
He's worse than fucking.
I'm never gonna say a bad thing about Heim Bloom ever again.
I can't
Honestly.
believe it.
Like,
Jared Carabas just tweeted, Red Sox continuously have asked this fan base for time and patience only to have their faces routinely spit on. It's sad hearing from fans who used to care deeply about this team but don't anymore. I can't even come up with an argument for why they're wrong for feeling that way. Bro, the air is out of the balloon. Like, watch us go fuck around and get swept all 3 series on the West Coast. Like,
yeah,
James Tibbs, Jose Bayo, another Bayo, Kyle Harrison, and Jordan Hicks. Kyle Harrison rocking a nice 5 ERA in the major leagues right now. Like, what are we doing?
I don't know, but also like this isn't part of why the return in terms of players is not good is because the Giants agreed to take the remaining $250 million that Devers is owed entirely. So like we owe Devers, I think we might owe him whatever money is deferred, maybe, or that might at least count toward our CBT total. But the money from here on, we do not have to write Rafael Devers another check.
Yeah.
So I think I think the part of why the return isn't what we want is because part of the deal is that the Giants are willing to take $250 million.
Oh my God. I mean, the fact that that's even a talking point at this early in the season when, like you said, we just fucking clawed back into a wild card contention. Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean,
if that's actually what this is about, that is so beyond, like, the word unacceptable is not good enough. Like, I can't even begin that fucking picture of him smoking the cigar, John Henry. It's all fake. Like, I bet you that's not even a real cigar. It's like, you don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, which is like, I'm so confused about the John, because obviously this trade does not happen without John Henry's approval.
Of course.
But I'm confused about why he would, because it is so against the grain of what everything else that he has kind of done and how he's postured this season. So I'm like almost confused unless it just, I mean, there is a chance that we learn that like things behind the scenes were really, really bad and Devers made being a member of the Boston Red Sox untenable.
So I have to hope, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I actually hope that that's the case. I hope it gets leaked and it comes out that dudes were having arguments in the clubhouse and he wasn't showing up to team dinners. Like, I hope that comes out, because then it gives us closure. Like, oh, he was being a douchebag, so yeah, he's got to go. But this
even
seems
still,
it's still not the right move. And the pieces we got back, the only guy that I've read anything about is this guy Tibbs. He's apparently supposed to be pretty good. He's like a top prospect. But again, we've talked about this a million fucking times. Prospects don't always work out. We don't know if Christian Campbell is going to be worth a fucking peanut in 2 years. Jeter Downs was the big Mookie Betts piece. He's going to be the next fucking Derek Jeter, and he's going to get 3,000 hits in Major League Baseball and hit 315 every year, and he's playing in fucking Korea hitting 220.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are we talking about here?
This is honestly, I think this is much worse than the Mookie Betts trade.
It's horrible.
Because at least with the Mookie Betts trade, we knew it was coming, because we knew just on the calendar, like, this is where we were headed. And like, we just knew the week of, we're like, this is probably going to happen. And then it happened. This came out of fucking nowhere. And it's just as bad. It's the same bad trade. I just think, like, I don't know. I really do I see some people putting a lot of this on Cora for not having Rafi's back enough, and I don't think
it
that
is
I
not
agree
on
with
Cora. That is not on Cora.
It's not Cora's. I mean, Cora, I think, has been pretty good about backing Rafi. I mean,
yeah,
I think so too.
Like,
when the whole first base, thing kind of happened, he was very much like, I'm not talking about this. I haven't talked to Rafi about this. I'm not gonna talk to Rafi about this. I mean, there's only, I think, and he doesn't have a say in whether or not a guy gets traded. Like, even if he has been with the franchise for a while, like, I don't think that's his. He doesn't really get involved in that. I think this is like purely Breslow. I think he, like, has to go. I have a hard time believing that we make the playoffs at this point. Like, I think that's fully dead and
that's
gone.
That's done. They're gonna. I mean, if we don't again. So here's actually, before we go down that rabbit hole, what happens? Is it tomorrow? Is our first game in the West Coast? Let me see.
Do we have an off day?
I thought we have an off day Thursday. I think we play tomorrow. It's Sunday night. We're recording this. Yes, tomorrow at 6:40. Oh, finally, not a fucking 4:00 game for me.
Yeah, for me it's a 10
for you it's
game.
Brutal. Mariners 3-game set, Giants 3-game set, Angels 3-game set. I'll be at the Angels games. So listen, what will be very telling is if we go out there and fucking demolish these teams. Because if we go out there and crush these teams, then something was up with Devers in the clubhouse. You know what I mean? He's obviously been hitting really well, but in my mind, remember when Christian Vasquez got traded in 22?
Yeah.
And he was such a beloved, like, everyone loved him in the clubhouse. Like, he was like kind of an unofficial team captain. We were at that point still 7-8 games above 500 in a wild card hunt. And the whole team collapsed after that. That was like the defining moment in my mind when, like, it just, the wind came out of the sails. So if we see that, if we start seeing 16 strikeouts again and shit like that, it's going to be pretty apparent the guys are like, oh my God, they're super deflated. If the young guys come out and start smacking the ball around a little bit, then maybe there was something with Devers holding guys back. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm going to assume, probably this is the anger talking, but I'm going to assume at this point, forget the playoffs. At this point, we're looking at, like, what is the long-term ramification of being a Boston Red Sox player? Because you're right. Like, who is going to want, if someone says, hey, I don't want to play that position that you're making me play, am I going to get traded?
Yeah.
That's actually a real concern now. And look, it's happened before. Like, obviously, Nomar was disgruntled in 2004, and there was all this weird stuff in the media, and it was kind of a similar circus.
But that was, like, so different because Nomar was not the only, like, hitter with a 900 OPS in the lineup.
Yeah, that's true. It is a similar trade return, I'll say. I believe the final haul, it was a 3-team deal, and I think we pulled in Mike Myers, Doug Mankiewicz, and Orlando Cabrera. It was those 3. So
he was a Gold Glove winning shortstop when we traded for him.
So you could say, I mean, Jordan Hicks isn't good this year, but he has been good. You could say, oh, he was good, but it's not this. It isn't the same. I mean, it's just not. It's not.
Yeah,
I just am amazed. I don't know.
I think also, even if there were problems in the clubhouse with Rafi, it's not like the team was playing horribly, but when you have a player that good, even if there are issues behind the scenes, I maybe like I'm ignorant for this opinion, but I'm kind of of the mindset of like, hey guys, like suck it up or figure it the fuck out because he's frankly too good for us to get rid of. Like you got to figure out how to play with him so that we can continue to win games. Uh,
Well,
and
clearly
then
winning
if
games
there needs to
isn't
be a move,
isn't a
it's made in the
priority
off
for them.
season. The other thing that I think is really important to discuss is like we're a full month and a half away from the trade deadline. This
So bad.
Why did this happen now? That's I think a really important question. It's like why did
That's
this
what I
trade
mean,
have
though.
to
There
happen?
has to be something under the covers here that we're not seeing. There must be. It's gonna. I'm telling you, like, I honestly hope it does come out that like he had an argument with like Trevor Story and it was making Trevor Story play like shit. Like I don't know. Like that's kind of not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
I would hope that something like that comes out because then it gives us closure. It's like, all right, we got it. It's not going to work out. But doing it this early and for the haul back that we got, there's no way. We always have this joke in the music industry. Like, have you ever heard like especially like in hip hop, like a bad rap verse, like really bad?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like, what the fuck? And we
Yeah.
always say, bro, there ain't no way the producer let him get out the booth with that verse. There's no way. There is no fucking way that the guys around Craig Breslow said, yo, that's a great trade, buddy. Good job. There's no fucking way. They were like, we have to get this done today or else it's not going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
there is something bigger at play that we're not seeing here. I have no idea what it is, but
Yeah.
I agree with Jared Carabas that, like, this is a fucking huge slap in the face. And I just want to read this to you. Ian Kundal, I follow him on Threads. I'll say X or Twitter, whatever, but he's a scouting director. He has a website called Sox Prospects. He kind of does he's great. New Red Sox outfielder James Tibbs. So this is the guy everybody's saying James Tibbs is the big piece of this trade. New Red Sox outfielder James Tibbs was the 13th overall pick last year out of Florida State. In A-plus ball this year, he's hitting 245, 377 on base, 480 slug. That's pretty. This is good. 245 is not great,
OPS.
but
That's good.
yeah, that's good. 12 homers, 16% walk rate, 17% K. Solid contact skills, but lacks a standout tool. Average-ish hit/power. Corner outfield only. Started slow, but has gotten better as the season has gone on. That's the marquee piece that you're getting for Rafael Devers, a guy who they're saying, oh, he can play first base. In his baseball reference, it says his secondary position is first base. He's only played like a handful of innings there. He's not a fucking first baseman. He's a left fielder. Why do we need more outfielders?
So here's the thing. The great thing about him, he's in high A, right?
Yeah, A+, yeah.
Yeah. So the great thing about being in high A is that whatever position he currently plays doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter.
We can
Yeah, it
teach
doesn't
him a new
matter.
one. I do think it would be smart. It would behoove the Red Sox to teach this guy to focus on first base.
They better
to
do it
be a
now.
full-fledged first baseman. I think he sounds like, I think that there's a lot, like it's a prospect. I'm like, that sounds like he actually could turn out okay. He could surprise us. He could also just kind of be like a Romy Gonzalez, like a bench utility guy. Um, but yeah, I mean, the thing is like the top, it's like, it just sucks. Like the main get of this trade piece is, I guess, Tibbs, but it actually is we don't have to pay Rafi $250 million.
Fuck that, though. What the fuck? Bro, why are we moving like a small market team?
Again, great question. So I think that I think really the only thing that can save the Red Sox from utter, like, I mean, from an utter, like, catastrophe, in terms of a fan base collapse is to make the playoffs. Like I think that's the only thing that can save this franchise at this point. Um, I think I forget where I said either on Instagram or just to a person, if Red Sox Nation storms Fenway Park tomorrow, like a la January 6th, to take the reins from Craig Breslow and John Henry, I'm fucking there.
Bro, I am not buying a single. I was gonna buy that green jersey. I am not buying a fucking single jersey. I'm not buying a hat. I am not fucking doing anything. I'm pissed. I already spent money on the Angels tickets to go see them. I don't want to give them. I know that doesn't go to them, but
I don't like. I don't know if I like I understand like how fans are reacting. Like I do kind of get it. I think to me, I'm like, uh I don't think I can ever I'd have a hard time being the fan who just doesn't buy the merch or doesn't watch the team or doesn't go to the games because
I'm gonna watch the team. I'll watch the
because
team for sure.
like ultimately I'm like who else's jersey am I gonna buy? Like, I'm not a
For
Mets
sure.
fan.
No, but my point is right now, until they prove to me that they give a fuck about winning baseball games,
Yeah,
because they clearly don't. I'm not saying if they suddenly say we just got Bryce Harper in the trade, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll buy jerseys again. Like,
yeah,
obviously, but like, my point is, I'm gonna watch the team because I'm a lifelong Red Sox fan, and I love the guys on the team. I want to see Marcelo do well, and Christian do well, and Anthony, and all these Sadon. I want them to do well. I want to watch for them. I like Alex Cora. I've had issues with him, but I love Alex
yeah,
Cora. I want the team to do well. I don't want to give this fucking ownership group or this front office any fucking even a cent until they prove that they give a fuck about us as fans, because this is a huge. I'm so angry right now. This is just an emotional podcast episode, but I'm so this really feels like they just kicked me in the fucking chest. It's like, hey, dude, Devers just hit a sick fucking bomb over the monster, and we swept the Yankees, and we're right back in it, and now he's gone, and you can eat your own poop. Like, that's what it
yeah.
fucking feels like.
I mean,
I don't want to give them any money.
it does, like, it really does. I think because happening today, like the circumstance in which it happened, it fucking hurts. And I think this actually kind of, I was thinking about this as well, like with this, and I think this is a problem, probably a problem with like many sports teams, especially the ones that have made shit trades in the last couple of years, like the Mavericks with Luca. But I mean, I think teams need to start recognizing that they have a duty. Like, I think a lot of organizations just take fans for granted, like as like,
Yeah.
who cares what the fans really are gonna think about this? And it's like, no, you do actually have a duty. Like, you exist because we
Yes, I was
come
about to
to
make that
watch
point.
you. Like, even if you're like, yes, the Red Sox are a team worth $5 billion. If the attendance is really low for a year, like, it's not gonna kill them. But it's like, the only reason that you're the Boston Red Sox is because of Red Sox fans.
Let me
Like,
explain why the Montreal Expos do not exist anymore. Because nobody fucking cares about the Montreal Expos. Nobody went to their games.
they
Like,
want that team back in the expansion.
I
Montreal
mean,
wants the
if people go to the games, great, but like Miami, I am almost certain that in like 20 years the Marlins are not going to exist. Like, that's
oh yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
people don't go to the games. They are servants to us. I know that sounds crazy, but they are servants to us. The fans are
Yeah.
what, bro, that's what I'm saying. We buy the jerseys. We buy the fucking hot dogs. We buy the beer at the stadium. We buy the tickets. Like,
Yeah.
they're only there because of us. So why is it so difficult for a team and an ownership group that has so much money and such a big market and so many diehard fans to play in front of to field a fucking capable team?
Yeah. Also, when you sign a player to a 10-year, 11-year, 15-year contract, you are also like signing a contract with the fans that says, "Hey, this guy's here forever." Like,
Yeah.
where this you never have to worry about this guy leaving this ball club. So like, to undermine that as well, it's like, "Oh shit, does like nothing, like, are we just gonna have to constantly be worried about losing our best players because you guys are fucking like moody, or all of a sudden you decide you're cheap, or what, you make it an unbearable place to play baseball? Like, what do we do? I think
I don't know.
looking ahead, I think there are like kind of like two things that could happen. I think like one's very unlikely and one is very likely. The unlikely
What do
thing
you
is
think?
that the Red Sox use this hole in the lineup and this sudden abundance of money to make another couple of trades for players who then can either add up to replace Devers' production or just replace it entirely, but for cheap. I think even then it's still stupid because it's like, you shouldn't have traded Devers in the first place. But like, that's like the glass half full. Like, it'd be cool if they did that scenario and if like they were actually trying to win games. I think what's more likely is that in the next like couple of weeks we're going to see Duran get traded next.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's gone for sure. All those trade
Um,
rumors, he's gone. They're not interested in winning games this year. They don't care.
yeah,
They came out of the gate like we've been a 500 ball club the whole year. We've been like within 3 to 5 games above or below 500 at any point in the season, and they decided, okay, it's been 2 months and we're not like dominating the division, so we're done. Blow it all up. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck? I bet you Bregman gets shopped too.
That's what
I wouldn't
yeah,
be
I was saying that
surprised.
earlier, but I don't, like, I don't know that Devers is like fully like trading Devers is fully indicative of a fire sale. I think that this is has nothing. I actually do. Yeah, I even despite what I just said, I don't think that trading Devers had anything to do with whether or not this organization thinks that this team is going to make the playoffs or not make the playoffs, or is good or is not. I think it's purely personal. I think it's purely personal between. I think Craig Breslow got his feelings hurt, and that's what it. I think that's why he's
I
been
was,
traded.
yeah, I think so too. I think he has a fucking Napoleon complex or something, and he was
Yeah,
like, "Well, I told him to play first, and he said no, so he's got to go." And I'm like, and I found the other quote that I can't. I'm looking for it right now. I can't find it, but there was a Globe report that also said Devers was apparently happy with the trade, like he was excited about it. So this
yeah.
has clearly been in the works for a while. I think we knew this was coming, but
I think the fact that it didn't happen on the trade deadline day is I mean it's really unusual nowadays for us to see major trades happen before the deadline. It merely tells you that like this was urgent for the organization to get done. That they
he
were like they want
clearly,
this done now. They didn't want to wait until the end of July. And I don't really and it's just like it's going to be one of those things that we're just never going to really understand, even when we start to get more pieces. Like I'm sure whatever Alex Spear writes for the Globe, like I'm sure that's gonna shed a lot of light on this because he's a great reporter. He does write
yeah,
great
a lot of the
pieces.
Globe stuff is definitely a hit piece on Devers for sure. Like I think it's meant to look like
Yeah,
the
but
article that I read was like, well, he's fucked himself here, and I'm like, let's see.
yeah, but I don't know. Alex Spear, I've never found his reporting to be inaccurate.
Mm.
Like about at least about players and about like behind the scenes process. I think he's always been pretty um like pretty upfront about, what's going on. I think obviously there are, parts of the Boston Globe that love to editorialize
Sure,
and
of
love to write
course.
pieces that are kind of, but I also don't think like even if they are, you know, quote unquote like hit pieces, I think like um there's still a kernel of truth in all of that. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like even if it's meant to paint a certain picture, like it didn't, no one's just like pulling that out of their ass, so to speak. Like there is maybe it's an exaggeration of the relationship, but it's like, yeah, I'm sure that there's more to the extent of Devers' relationship with the front office, and I'm sure that Devers did not always come off great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably important to know at the same as it's important to know like where Breslow is at with this. And I do think that this is mostly, I think almost entirely happened not because like Devers in any way asked for it or like Devers might have been happy about it, but like this whole thing was instigated by Craig Breslow.
Yeah,
I
it was
like feel so certain of that.
the
Like I
bad
think Henry had to be
communication.
convinced of it too.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting? I remember talking to Jen McCaffrey about like the meeting that John Henry had, and her quote with us was, um, the meeting centered around being a good teammate. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was the moment. Maybe they discussed, hey, listen, if you're not going to be what we think is a good teammate, we're going to trade you this year. And I wonder if he said, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Like, I
and
wonder if this has been that was like back in mid April. Like, I wonder if this has been in the works for 2 months now.
yeah, and I mean, and also like, yeah, I guess like maybe John Henry just has an expectation that like if he's paying you $300 million for 10 years, that you be a little bit more cooperative than Devers. Um, I don't know whether or not.
Listen, I can get behind the mentality of, and I actually do get behind, it's not that I can, I do get behind the mentality of, we're paying you a lot of money. Like, you are our guy. You got to put in for the team a little bit. So I get that. I was really upset with him. I was very upset with him. Another ranting episode of this show when he didn't want to play first base because I was like, dude, you're being a shitty teammate. And that was
Yeah,
when the, unnamed veteran was like, stop talking. And I was like, okay, this is going to cause a problem. So I understand. I get it. There are a myriad other ways to handle that problem other than trading him after sweeping your biggest rival and getting back into playoff contention. Like,
Yeah. But this
that is
also like
not the way to fucking handle the problem.
but this also all just stems from the front office's inability to do its job well, like communicating with Devers amidst signing a player to replace him defensively. Like, I think if that conversation goes differently, if Devers does not say at spring training that he's a third baseman and he only plays third base, then he's still here. Like,
Yeah.
this doesn't happen. This is, I think, entirely just whoever was instrumental in that fuck up. Like, they're the reason that Devers is no longer with us on the Red Sox. Not
No longer with us. Yeah. It's interesting because I also had this pulled up. There was like a winners and losers. You know, CBS did like winners and losers of the trade. And it said loser, Rafael Devers. And I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? I wonder, as a left-handed hitter, it's not an easy place to hit at San Francisco.
Harry
Like,
Barry Bonds.
yeah, but Barry Bonds is Barry Bonds. Like, Barry Bonds makes Oracle Park look like a fucking Little League field. And I know it's only like 310 down the line, but there's a lot of lefties hitters because of that marine layer that don't want to go play there. High wall,
I think
ball
he's
doesn't
gonna.
carry.
I think
He'll
he's
be
gonna
good.
hit a lot.
No,
of
I
balls
think he'll
from
be
Covey
good.
Cove.
But I definitely think that like you do get a boost from playing at Fenway Park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with his swing. He has such a great like oppo. He hits so many balls over the monster.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just trying to
Funny,
find
though,
something that'll. I don't know.
What's funny though is that Devers, right now Matt Chapman's on the IL.
Yeah, no, he's gonna have to fucking play DH there too, or
Yeah.
first base.
So I'm like, what? And that's the thing. Is like if I see, well, that's the thing. If you see, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you see Rafael Devers playing third base. I mean, playing first base for the Giants. What is that your reaction to that gonna be?
So that's when it comes to like Devers is the problem. If Devers plays first base for the Giants, then the fact that he got taken off, then it comes down to, we were saying like this is just Breslow got his feelings hurt and he had to trade him. Then this comes down to, no, the problem was Devers got his feelings hurt in the first place about third base, and he just took it out on the Red Sox. And that does come from a failure of communication from the front office, but in the same breath that I can say there are other ways to handle it other than trading and this and that, there are other ways to handle your grievances with the front office than throwing a giant hissy fit and then doing the exact thing you said you wouldn't do on another team. So, yes, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah.
If he goes and play, if he's like, yeah, sure, I'll play first base. I'm like, wow, okay, so you actually are the instigator of this trade.
Yeah.
Like you did, it's on you.
Yeah. I mean, I do expect him to play third again. Like, I think
He will until Chapman comes back, I think.
Yeah. It's gonna be so fucking bizarre to see him in orange.
Yeah, it's already weird, dude. I saw someone posted on online the fucking photo of him with the it's Photoshop the Giants stuff. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Also, who DHs for us in the meantime? Like,
so let's talk about that because now we can talk. I'm sure we'll back and forth on the Devers stuff a little bit more, but what does this mean for the current team? Let's say that we are not competitive. Let's say like the team's like, hey, we're going to fucking win games. We're trying to make the playoffs. To me, the lineup, assuming nobody else gets traded right now, so assuming Duran is still in the mix, is as follows. It's still Duran leading off. I would assume they're going to put Anthony in that 2 hole. I know he's not hitting super well, but I think they're banking on him to be the key offensive production. So I would go Anthony, Toro third, right? I mean, or Romy, one of those two, whoever's at first base. I don't like Story at cleanup. He was there today. He's been hot lately, but it's just not right.
Yeah.
Narvaez probably fourth. Oh my God, dude. I mean, they cannot keep playing Connor Wong. Like, that's just, anyway. Yeah. Narvaez fourth. I mean, fuck, dude. It leaves a huge hole in the lineup. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who is the DH? Fuck. Nate Eaton. I don't know, dude. Like, who are we missing? Wait, let me look at the box score from today, because I guess it's going to be whichever Romy or Toro, whichever one's not playing first, is going to be the DH in the 5 hole.
Or Ref
Meyer,
Snyder.
6. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? That's not a bad shout. Ref Snyder's been hitting really well.
So actually, so I will say Sunday, or was it today or yesterday? We had Ref Snyder leading off and Duran hitting fifth.
Yeah.
I actually really liked that lineup a lot.
Yeah, I like Ref Snyder leading off.
I
He always
I
hits the
think
balls
I like
today.
Duran not leading off because I think he's a hitter who would benefit everybody if Duran was more often in a position to hit with runners in scoring position.
Think so, yeah.
I think when Bregman comes back, you hit him second.
Yeah.
I do like Toro at third, and I really like so far. I mean, I think Anthony, if he starts going, maybe is a cleanup guy, but right now I actually really do like Narvaez.
Oh,
Um,
I think Narvaez is the cleanup hitter. That guy is such his bat to ball skills are so good.
yeah,
I'm so unbelievably impressed by him.
yeah. I mean, there are like I think the for us, and I think what we should encourage other fans to do or to feel is like your emotions around the Boston Red Sox team, the 26 guys who play, and the organization operated by Craig Breslow. Those are two different sets of emotions. Those are two different entities. Like, you don't have to, like, how you feel about one does not have to influence how you feel about the other.
Yeah, I think that's true. Look, again, I am still going to watch the team. I'm not, and I'm still doing
Yeah.
this podcast with you. Like, I'm not, I
Yeah.
never give up on my team. I never
Yeah.
give up on my team. I give up
That,
on giving money to the guy that's not trying to field a competitive team. That's a different thing.
yeah. Like, I think, like, I want this Red Sox team, like, I want these players to win games and make the playoffs in spite of the fuckery coming out of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's where I'm at. It's like I'm rooting for this team to tell the organization to go fuck itself by being better than the organization thinks that they'll
Yeah, it's
be.
almost like you want to force them to have to spend money in the offseason or to have
Yeah,
to do something because you're like, yo, we just fucking got to the second round. But I don't know. I guess they did spend money in 2022 with Story and it didn't work out. The irony though is like the only big contract, I guess Bregman, yes, but like it's only it's not really a huge length deal. It's just a lot of annual money. The only fucking remaining big contract we have, long term, a lot of money, is Trevor Story, and he's not playing very well. So like
I mean he's
he is lately, but
lately. I mean we'll see. I think yeah. I mean I that's fair. It's just man, what a what a messy fuck. Like what a what a fucking mess.
it's so frustrating, dude. I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
What was Dave's reaction? Have you talked to your dad?
Yeah, he was at like a dinner for Father's Day, and he was kind of like, it was kind of like what you said. He was like, no, they didn't. Like, no way. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, like, look, here's the article. And I text him. He's like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah,
I
crazy.
mean, I could just like I can see your dad like so clearly in my head, just being like, that just doesn't
Yeah,
that just doesn't
that's
make any
basically was
sense.
his reaction. He was just like, he was at dinner. He's like, hey, I can't talk for very long. What's up? And I was like, we just traded Rafael Devers. And he's like, no, they didn't. And I was like, yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
just
Vey, man.
ugh.
It is like the hole in the lineup is pretty bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess Ref Snyder is a good shout to DH. It's funny because our last episode a couple days ago was like, well, who's gonna have to go down when Bregman comes up? Well,
Yeah.
I guess we got the fucking answer. Like,
It's like yeah, that's the part that's crazy. I'm like, it's like, oh hey, we need to move somebody. Anybody else, not this guy.
I will say, when we calm down and we look back at this, I think when we look at this season as a whole, from the very beginning, this was always a possibility. From the very beginning of like, he's not going to play third, he's
Yeah.
angry, he's not saying the right stuff.
But
Like,
he's also having a career year.
yeah, he's crushing the ball.
Yeah.
How fitting is it that his last official at bat, I know he walked in his last plate appearance, but his final at bat as a Red Sox is a freaking wall scraper green monster home run against the New
Perfect.
York Yankees.
Yeah. Real quick, do you want to just like talk about the like just to talk about something good is just like how we beat
Yeah,
the
we've been playing
Yankees?
great, man. We swept
Yeah.
the Yankees. We beat the Rays. Like we beat the Yankees last week. We've had a great week. It's like
The Yankees.
this is so fricked that we have to talk about this on a week where we made
Yeah.
Aaron Judge look like a little leaguer, dude.
I know. Seriously. I mean, Garrett Crochet throwing in,
Unbelievable.
8 2/3, like fantastic. The Yankees ran the bases like they were us. Like Dominguez getting
That
caught.
was so bad.
Did he
That
get
was
caught
so bad.
twice? I know there
No,
were
today,
two.
who's number 22? It's someone I didn't
I think
recognize.
that's Dominguez.
No, oh, it was 22 is Dominguez. It was 20. It was a different guy today. It was like I can pull it up. It was someone that I had not seen before. I can tell you right now. It was
Yeah, Dominguez
Escara,
was
JC Escara.
okay, and so Dominguez was today.
That's
Yeah.
brutal. I mean, I don't know, man. I was really the offense looked great, and it is great to see Trevor Story swing the bat when he's hot. He's one of my favorite players on the team because he's a leader. But
Yeah.
and I mean, we talk about this. Narvaez, obviously. I do think Gonzalez and Toro are great. Like, at least for right now, they're obviously not long-term solutions, but they're playing great, you know?
Yeah.
So it's huge. I actually think one of the biggest moments was the walk-off against Tampa Bay, because that was sort of a shot in the arm that we needed. Like, we've been so bad in one-run games. And to lose the extra inning game on Tuesday of last week on a really like not on but the bad call by the umpire kind of made it worse than it was. And then to come back and win an extra innings game the next, walk off the next day, to walk off the Yankees, like starting to win those close games is like, okay, we got something going on here, you know?
Yeah. Wait, real quick. One thing we didn't talk about is, I guess, according to Buster Olney, the Red Sox didn't shop Devers to other teams. So, like, they only ever had conversations about trading Devers with the Giants.
Maybe they really wanted Tibbs. I don't know.
Why? I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like there are other teams that would have given you so much more for that. It's just weird. It's just interesting that they wouldn't have. I guess maybe there was also just a worry about like word getting back to him. Like the more teams that are aware that Devers is being shopped,
That
the more
is
likely it
very strange, though.
Yeah, this whole thing just like it's not like Mookie Betts where it made it. I mean, it didn't make sense, but like it was the logic, while flawed, was easily understood. Mookie Betts was hitting free agency. He was gonna be, worth 300 some $1 million, too expensive, air quotes, for the Red Sox. So rather than spend the money, they moved him.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole thing it's so perplexing. There's no actual logic that we can like fully grasp onto in the same way. This whole thing just stinks.
Something seems not right. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Passan just reported Rafael Devers did not want to be in Boston anymore.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. Not really, but
Jeff
I do love
Passan
Jeff
reported,
Passan.
while there was not a request to be traded, he didn't want to be in Boston anymore. If that is true, see, this is what I'm saying. If that's true, that makes me look at this a whole different. I'm like, wow, dude, you're a fucking baby. Like, you literally couldn't handle being taken off your position. Like, be a big boy.
Wait, where are you seeing that from Passan? Because I don't think he's tweeted it.
No, it's on YouTube. He said it during the. Here.
Okay, that makes.
Let me send you the link.
Dude, the Red Sox posted a video of like, caption "Forever Red Sox champion. Thank you for every homer, smile, and Rafi moment." I'm like, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, don't fuck that. We got literally like nobody good back. That's just like what bothers me. Like Jordan Hicks. I mean, like here, this is the clip. Here, you know what? Let's do something interesting here.
This tweet actually has this tweet made a really good point. Since I started watching the Red Sox in 1992, exactly two big Red Sox stars have left on good terms: David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia.
Can you send me that?
Yeah.
I want to do something. Can you give me access to? Can I share my screen? Oh yeah, I can share sound. Let's listen to this for a second. We can cut it out if it's too long. But I'm interested. This is what Jeff Passan said on the ESPN broadcast of the Dodgers game.
Okay.
Real quick, I forgot to mention this too. Kyle Harrison has already been optioned to AAA.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Like,
I
come
assume
on.
it's going to be like they're going to do a whole deconstruction of his arsenal,
Yeah, probably. But
but
I just think that's
still,
fun. The optics of that are hilarious. Anyway.
yeah. Wait, pause it right there.
Hold on.
Okay, I just want to say like one thing about this because I understand your point that like oh he didn't want to be in Boston anymore like but okay but like let's think about it this way. The Boston Red Sox made it untenable for their star player to stay in Boston. Like they
Yeah,
made the environment so hostile that
it's
he
on
wanted
them.
to leave.
Dude, I'm when I say like he's being a big baby, two things can be true at the same time. Like
Yeah.
he definitely acted like a big child for sure. Like I was like, okay, this is kind of fucked up, but the lack of it was like the classic like, well, he started it. Like the front office started it by not communicating
Yeah.
well, by making it a situation like you said that made him want to leave. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna go get Bregman, but he's gonna play second base, dude. He's not. Just kidding. We're gonna put Campbell at second. You're off third. Like that is pretty
Right.
fucked up. I just think,
But the front office then also resolved it in the same way where it's like you break the toy so that nobody can play with it. It's like that isn't the solution either.
yeah. I also found it. Maybe I'm wondering if like the straw that broke the camel's back was like after the first base thing when third base opened up again because Bregman got hurt. They were like, nah, you can't. You're still not playing there. I almost wonder if he was like, are you fucking serious? Like really? You're gonna put
Maybe.
Toro there? Anyway, let's keep
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to stop. But
I wanted to see Bob
let's
Melvin
see here.
apply the chapstick to
Oh
his
yeah, the
face.
chapstick. There you go. That's the same one I use, the blue one, dude.
Yeah, no, it's a great chapstick.
Yeah, I just am really like, I don't know,
Yeah,
dude.
it's there's no I think better word where it's fucked and it fucking sucks.
Well,
Yeah.
what is your let's end on this. What is your favorite Rafael Devers moment as a Red Sox? Because there's some good
Ooh.
ones. In
Ooh.
honor of our fallen hero.
Yeah, there are so many. I'm gonna go with 2021. We were playing the Nationals. We were on the edge of
Oh
making the
yeah,
playoffs.
of
You and I were
course.
watching this game from our
Yeah,
house
Boyle
together,
Heights.
and he hit that it wasn't game winning because they were
Skyscraper.
on the road, but he hit that go ahead home run in the ninth. And I think it was in the ninth.
That was
But
amazing.
it was like that was such a fun moment.
That was great. I'm gonna go with 2018 Houston Astros Game 5 of the ALCS.
Hmm.
Crawford box home run off of Justin Verlander to make it
Yeah.
4-1. That was an awesome, maybe 4-0 actually. That was an awesome moment. And he was still so young. I think that was like not his best season. I remember being like, damn, this guy's so
Yeah.
special. Like,
Dude,
ah,
he's our age. Like it's
he's
crazy.
28, dude. Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
got like 200 something career homers. It's crazy.
Dude, that imagine like you find out like tomorrow that you're just oh you have to move across the country to you have to move to New York tomorrow.
Dude, the only people who deal with that are athletes and fucking doctors. Like doctors, they're like, hey, you're being transferred to like Cedar Sinai from like Georgetown Hospital. Like that's where your new residency is. Like, oh, great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know,
man.
man. This is just I agree with you on the going through the stages of grief. Like it just feels this feels like not a real day. This doesn't feel real at all. But we move on, and hopefully the team will keep playing well. I don't know.
Craig Breslow and Sam Kennedy are doing a Zoom call at 8 a.m. tomorrow to explain what happened, like why
it's going to be a bunch of hullabaloo. I don't think they're going to say anything good.
Unless they're going to get real fucking honest tomorrow, I'm going to be pissed for a while.
They're not going to say anything good. It's going to be like the whole like full throttle thing. Oh, I'll do blah blah. Like they're just going to say nonsense. And if they don't, dude, I almost hope they're like, yeah, he didn't request a trade, but like he basically insinuated that he wasn't going to keep playing. If you like, that would be. Yeah.
Craig Breslow's like, he stormed into my office with a baseball bat.
Yeah, like give me that. That's what I want to hear. But I do. My final point will be, I do agree with you that like the front office is. They made the situation, they started this poorly. Like, they made this situation happen because of how poorly they handled it off rip. Yeah. However, if it is true that, like, Devers just couldn't handle being in Boston anymore, I share the blame on both sides because obviously the front office handled it poorly, but also this shit happens in baseball, dude. Like, it is baseball, and it is a business. So, however, we always will love you, Rafi, and I hope you do great things in San Francisco. I hope you fucking make it to the Hall of Fame. And you probably, like Mookie, will not be wearing a Red Sox hat when you get in. But, yeah, I hope you do great, man. Sucks. Sucks.
All right, guys. That's the episode.
That's it. All right. Bye, guys.